All right, this is going to be a tutorial on drawing the center support for the phone holder. Let's take a look at the center support before we get started. So the center support is a symmetrical part. So if I can just draw the top or the bottom, I should be able to mirror it or copy it. So basically cutting my drawing time in half. So that's kind of the plan that we're gonna use when we draw this. I'm gonna go ahead and open up a new, clicked on the wrong button there. Let's open up a new standard IPT part file. We're going to go ahead and put a sketch on the XY plane. All right. So first thing I want to do is I'm going to draw, this is maybe a new a new tool for you to use. I'm going to draw a line, but I want that line to be a center line. So right here, I'm going to toggle that on, and I'm just going to draw a line from the origin over, and I'm going to dimension that the entire length of my part, which is 4.91. So let's go ahead and dimension this 4.91. And it looks like a center line. There we go. It's an important dimension to have. And I'm now going to toggle that off. So it's going to draw regular lines. I'm going to focus on mainly drawing the top half. So I'll start over here at my origin. And the height of that back end is 0.8. Well, remember, I'm drawing half. So I'm going to go ahead and I can do that math in my head. I'll just go 0.4. There we go. So I've got that, that height. And I'm actually going to go over here to the other end. And it looks like the overall height is 1.4. So again, let's start by drawing half of that. 0.5, 0.7. 0.7 would be halfway. Now, there's a taper to this, which is 87 degrees. But I'm willing to bet, since I have these two dimensions, this should be my, it's 86.5, probably the rounds. So I've got my taper all set up here with my, by setting these two lines. So I need to add, now in addition to those two dimensions, the tabs stick out above that. So let's go ahead and zoom in on this area right here. I'm going to draw a line, and I want to make sure I'm on. See, it kind of follows that. That's a good thing. I want to draw a line, but I don't want to draw it vertical. I do want to draw it perpendicular. And Inventor will tell you when something's perpendicular. At least it should, right there. I should get that little icon. See that? That's the perpendicular symbol. And I'm going to go up 0.115. All right. Again, I'm going to draw this tab. I want it perpendicular to that line. There's that symbol, and that should be 0.5. And lastly, don't just go straight down, right? We want it, again, to be perpendicular. So right there, 90 degrees perpendicular. This is the length and size of the tab that we need. Notice that you can move this. You should be able to move this around. Should be able to move that. There you go. So this moves around. We need it to be in the right spot. Otherwise, it will not interlock with the legs. So 0.38 is the dimension from the edge of this tab to this endpoint. Notice how I get an aligned dimension that is created. I'm going to make that 0.38, and it goes into the correct position. Now, this sometimes confuses students. If you dimension it this way, if I were to go to like this line and this line right here, sometimes it shows up. Oops, let me fix that. This endpoint and this line. Sometimes it shows up as a linear dimension, and you do need to make sure you can right click and change that to aligned. Let's see if I can get it to show that. So here to there, that's a that's a linear dimension. I can right click and choose aligned. So put that dimension back in there. There we go. I'm going to do the same thing to the next tab, which is somewhere over here. I'm going to make sure I'm on the line. I'm going to make sure I'm not vertical, but perpendicular. Wait for that symbol to show up. That is perpendicular. 0.115. And then we want 90 degrees from there, 0.5. And we want 90 degrees from there, 0.115. It should go straight back down. We're going to go ahead and add the spacing between them. So I should be able to select these two lines. And this will then be dimensioned to 2.7. All right, so everything is drawn. Oh, I shouldn't say that. I have to do something over here on the front. There is a little cutout over here. Let's go ahead and let's just kind of rough that in here. I know that this is going to be 0.115, and it goes all the way down to this point. What is the length of that? That's a good question. Let's look at our dimensions. We've got 0.45 from here to there. That's a 0.45. So that should automatically put that in the right size. Okay. So now that I've got this drawn, I'm going to mirror it. Okay. There is a mirror command right here, and it's asking me to select the geometry. Well, I'm going to go ahead and just select everything. And I'm going to choose my mirror line, which is this. And I'm going to apply it and say done. And the last step to make this the way it needs to be is I'm going to do some trimming. So I'm going to trim. I could trim that out. So I've got this one profile to use. Of course, I don't need this or that. I'm going to finish my sketch. I'll extrude it to the correct depth, which is not 1 inch, but 0.115. And I have my center support completed.